Okay, Dominic, let's go ahead and take a look. I just want to draw your attention over here to this written requirement. Include a few sentences outlining observations related to your exercise, any challenges faced, and of course, any questions you have. Then, of course, include a few sentences discussing why you chose the typefaces you used in your design, as well as discussing your color scheme, the colors you choose, and why you chose them. So I'd like to really get a little bit of insight on the composition itself. Now, again, I think the first and most noticeable thing is that this isn't composed in one of the provided templates. What I'm going to go over that template for you. So just because I noticed that I'd like you to learn how to use those templates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to Classroom. I'm going to download. I've got these templates downloaded. I'm not sure if it's for this assignment, but it doesn't matter because they're all the same. The technique's also the same in Illustrator as it is in Photoshop. So I'll just open this Illustrator landscape format template for M4T1. And once that opens, I'm just going to show you how to save it. Okay, come on. My computer's acting awfully sluggish today. It really is. But here it is, and here's that grid for the background. So I think that grid is definitely going to help you in your placement of your typographic elements too. So, all right. So in order to save this out, what you're going to do is I'm in Illustrator, and it works the same in Photoshop. Just come across the menu across the top of the screen, which you can't see right now. But next to the word Illustrator, you're going to see the word File. And if you come to that file, click down and then come over and say Export. And the same thing in Photoshop, File, Export, and you're going to come for Save for Web. Okay, and this dialog box here is going to open, and you just want to select JPEG right here. Select JPEG, and then, quality of 60% or so is just fine. And then you just save that out, okay? And that will save it the way that it needs to be reviewed. Using the template. So let me get rid of that. Again, I just want to reinforce the importance of using that template to submit your assignments. And that will adhere to project specifications. And that's something that I think this should really be paid attention to. So my black fire is burning bright. Maybe I'll go out tonight. We can paint the town in blue. All right, so the main thing I'm seeing here is that everything, you just really center aligned. Okay, so there's no emphasis, there's really no typographic alignment associated. You've put everything in the center. So think about our shape compositions back from week 1 and 2, all right, where we were working with those shapes. Remember how we experimented with scale, we experimented with contrasts, size, placement, rotation, dilation, reflection, all sorts of interesting compositional elements to make those compositions more interesting. Well, the same thing can be said with typography, whereas right now we're basically center aligned. You've got a couple of staggered words, but that's really it. Okay, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to recompose this and do anything but center alignment. Okay, for your resubmission, you're not allowed to center align. I want you to concentrate on being as creative as possible by using things like scale. Okay, and let's jump over here to the example, and we can see that this is really interesting because first of all, it's all right aligned. That's okay though, because we're reading it perfectly as the composition really helps to lead our eye through the typographic hierarchy, and this designer has a very, very clear plan of how they want us to move through the composition. The scale here is really super interesting. So is the word "and" as it's placed on that kind of semicircle. So right now we're not seeing any kind of typographic emphasis, any kind of scale changes, or any kind of reinforcement of typographic hierarchy. Where do you want the viewer to look first, and what words are most important in the composition? Okay, so definitely work with this. I really want you to push your creativity as far as I can. Really think about emphasizing scale and making interesting relationships based on alignment and placement and proximity. All right, as well as scale and creating typographic hierarchy based on scale and other areas of contrast. Okay, you've got some started with the letters and the changes in, the color and the changes in the stroke and the typeface, but basically you're only using one typeface here. Now you can use up to 3 typefaces. The I and I should be capitalized, by the way. So think about mixing like a script with a serif and a sans serif, or maybe a decorative with a script with a serif and a sans serif. Really try to push your creativity here now. There's no right or wrong, okay? So what I want you to do is get out of we're going to use this exercise right here to break the habit of center alignment in typography and really try to create emphasis and try to create hierarchy based on scale, alignment, and proximity. Okay? All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you, Dominic.